This might sound ridiculous, but I just can't stop thinking about Rodney Cleveland.
You are Locked On Auburn, your daily podcast on the Auburn Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yes, welcome on into Locked On Auburn, your daily Auburn Tigers podcast. I'm your host, Zac Blackerby, and thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. Happy Charlie Tuesday to all who celebrate. We're joined by Auburn message board legend, the Charlie 5. His name's apparently Kyle Rush. He's the man over at thebarn.com. Go subscribe today. That threw some people off. That was super controversial. I still don't think we should have done it, but that's okay. That's okay. Auburn basketball keeps finding ways to win. We'll spend a few minutes on that, as well as last week was Kyle's birthday, which is why we didn't get to spend time with him last week. And he has an incredible birthday list of things that he wishes would happen to him for his birthday from an Auburn point of view. I think some are more aggressive than others. We'll jump into that. But look, I want to start the show today. But I know like you love recruiting more than almost anybody I've ever met, especially from the Auburn perspective. And I mean, some of these kids, I mean, they're hulking super teens. Like there's no question about it. But I just can't stop thinking about how excited I'm going to be if Vodney Cleveland, the defensive lineman, plays at Parker when he ends up in this class. If he ends up in this class, he's like my favorite prospect that Auburn's been recruiting in a long time.
Some say he's the hulkingest. He's the hulkingest of all hulking super teens. He's a beast, man. I don't know what it is.
There's a city in Ohio that they named after him.
A big city too.
I mean, think about
a really
that.
big one. It's a really big one. They have an NBA team and an NFL team. They got and a baseball team. They got all three. It's so big.
Sure.
And it's accurate because he's also a big boy.
16 or 17. It's like, wow, they named the city after him? That's crazy. No, I mean, just overall traits and just the ability and the frame that he already has and how he's able to move at his size. It's just, I don't care what rankings are, and he's ranked perfectly fine. I think he should be even higher, but you just watch this dude's tape, which he hasn't even put together senior tape yet because he's a junior. But it's just, this dude is different. This dude, I mean, there's so many 4-stars where you look at this tape and they're just dominant because that's the nature of it. But this guy is it's a totally different level of play, in my opinion.
I've grown to have an affinity for interior defensive linemen over the last several classes. Like I love Jordan Crawford.
Jordan Crawford did something to you.
He did. And so I have very similar feelings for Jordan Crawford as I do, or vice versa, Vodney Cleveland as I do Jordan Crawford. It's just something about those big frame, big kids those are the kind of guys that change programs, like your Derek Browns and your Marlon Davidsons. Like they're guys that just, they're just SEC players. You can look at them and tell right away that's an SEC player. And you can look at Vodney Cleveland and you can tell right off the bat, that's not only an SEC player, that's an early player, that's an early contributor, and that's a guy that's going to do big, big things wherever he goes. And you hope you get the legacy, you get him, the whole aspect of that, you get him locked into Auburn.
Is he a legacy?
Yeah, apparently his uncle went to Auburn. Don Page back in the late 90s, I think.
His uncle? Does that count? Does that count as legacy? I thought it had to be like a parent did it.
Of course it counts. It's not like it's like
the guy. Of course it counts, me. Of course it counts.
It's his uncle. It's not like it's a dude at a drive-through that he met on a Tuesday. Like this is blood relation. Like this is uncle's pretty close.
It's pretty close, but it's not like adjacent. I don't know.
Okay, what does it have to be? Is it like mom or dad? Is
yes,
or
that's
granddad?
What I thought it was. That's what I thought it was. Direct lineage.
It's just
but I mean, it is close. It is close. And if that's what it takes for us to get them, I don't care. Whatever.
Dadgummit, I'm counting it. That's how I'm going with it. It's
I've always said though that Don Page is one of my favorite Auburn Tigers of all time. I've always
when I create a roster in NCAA, I always create Don Page on the defensive line.
Yeah. What number do you give him? when you make the roster and you put him on there. Number one on the field, number one in the heart, baby.
And he always has, a lot of elbow pads.
Okay.
The old lineman gloves. Like, you got to get it realistic. And I think he was the first to wear a visor. I don't know that for a fact. I may have just made that up, but he has a visor when I create him.
That's fine. I mean, if we're calling legacies like, uncles, like, that's fine. We can do whatever we want here.
Yeah.
Am I off on this? Am I off on that? I just don't feel like that should count. I don't know.
What do you think in the comments? Tell us in the comments. Should it count as a legacy? I think so.
And let me be very clear. If Rodney Cleveland wants it to count, we're counting it. We are counting it 100%.
It could be his neighbor. I don't care.
It's like, a guy, whatever. Great.
Legacy.
You've met an Auburn guy before. Yeah, sure. Legacy. I don't care.
I tell you what, he's going to leave a legacy if he comes to Auburn. How about that? He'll leave his own legacy.
That's right. No question about it. Yeah, and I can't wait to see what he does at Parker, because he played at Prattville last year, and so
no, he played at Parker last year.
Did he transfer before the season?
Yeah, okay. Remember
was he at Prattville before that?
Yes, he was. Okay. He and Jordan Crawford lined up beside each other in high school football.
It's gonna be awesome when they do that again.
It is, and at the next level, baby. Man, that what a very scary defensive line to have to walk up and look at across the line.
And that's
of scrimmage.
What's so exciting. We've done this with other positions too, but just when you think about like the benefit of stacking classes, like this is what it looks like. Like, there's a world where you have like Malik Blockton, Malik Autry, Jordan Crawford, Antonio Coleman, Darian Smith, Vodney Cleveland. There's gonna be other like elite guys in this class too. It's like, if Auburn lands this, I mean, you just talk about the stacking classes with in-state talent. Most of those guys are in-state. It's just incredible. It's super, super exciting.
Yeah, I mean, he's a number 5 player in the state, number 86 or 88 overall. So, like, not only is he a top 10 player in the state, he's a top 100 player in the whole dadgum country. The kid can play, man. Kid can play. Got to get him. Got to lock him up.
You think he ends up here? Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
If I had to guess right now, I'd say he ends up being an Auburn Tiger. Maybe soon soon too. I know they're pushing for it.
You got to think that they're going to want a few more of these top 10 guys to kind of go ahead and get in the boat. Like, there does seem to be some eagerness to create some momentum.
I think that I agree. And I think there may be, believe it or not, maybe even a more emphasis on the in-state top 10, top 12 than maybe there even was last year. So,
it's better, right? Like, as far as like national rankings, like, it's technically better, right?
There may be a couple more top 100 players, but I think that Auburn, you just had Cedarian Morgan. CD Morgan just got like a 5th star on Rivals or something like that. He's becoming.
I've always said Rivals was the best.
For sure, you always take the highest. Whatever the highest is, that's what you go with. That's science. Right. And that's typically.
But that's another dude, right? Like, like, you watch CD Morgan play, and it's like, that guy's better than everybody else. Like, that guy's not a 4-star. Like, that guy's better, bigger, faster, stronger than everybody else. Like, there's no question about it. No question about it.
For sure.
And and I think Vodney Cleveland's in that tier as well. What do you guys think? Let us know. What is a legacy? What does that even mean anymore? I don't
leave a legacy. How about that?
There we go. Kyle may have put together like one of the most ridiculous birthday lists ever. But hey, if all these things get checked off the list this year, I think all of us are going to be very, very happy. That's next right here on Locked On Auburn. Today's show brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. FanDuel is America's #1 sports book. Right now, as we record this, Auburn is a 16.5-point favorite against Mississippi State. That's a lot. That's a lot of points in a conference game.
Oklahoma.
What did I say?
Mississippi State. They look the same, but it's Oklahoma.
Similar colors, right?
Very similar.
Similar colors. Yes, against the Sooners. If that would have been the line against Mississippi State, we would have covered, though.
Yeah.
Without Johni Broome.
I think.
Without Johni Broome. Yeah.
True.
Yeah. You think Auburn covers against Oklahoma?
At home, it could be the Lakers. I'm going to take Auburn to cover. How about that?
All right.
Pound it.
The new Luka Doncic Lakers. All right. Head over to FanDuel.com today. You can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets. That's at FanDuel.com or, of course, the FanDuel app. Thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. Kyle, it was your birthday last week. You were too busy to hang out with us last week, and that's totally okay. That's totally okay. The big 4-0, right?
Not quite. One shy.
Oh, you're so close.
So close.
Everybody wish Charlie 5, Kyle, a happy birthday. All right. Let's go through your list. What was the number one thing on your list that you wanted for your birthday?
I want a franchise left tackle.
Do they have that? Did they get that with Xavier Chaplin, or do you want another?
I think I want Xavier Chaplin to be the franchise left tackle. And the reason I want the dadgum cycle to be broken. Finally. Auburn used to get these guys, Marcus McNeil's, all those guys, King Dunlaps, like all these guys that played in the NFL and had great careers. I want Auburn to get a franchise left tackle again. I think you got the potential to have one in Xavier Chaplin and prove, hey, Auburn can put a left tackle in the NFL again. Auburn can do it. Auburn can be a destination for a left tackle. I want a dadgum franchise left tackle.
I love it. Do you think there could be a franchise left tackle that's on the roster but very young?
Maybe Tyler Johnson. Maybe Tyler Johnson eventually. I don't know.
I really like Broderick Scholl is kind of that's really the main reason I asked that question.
He could be. Again, he very, very early. He's got the build to be that for sure.
Sure. Okay. Solid start. That'd be awesome. I think everybody would be very happy if you got that for your birthday. What else did you ask for?
Number 2, I want to have the most electric freaking return game that has ever been. I want to be excited when we punt and not absolutely petrified. I'm sorry, when they punt to us.
Yeah,
I want to
be
be standing up off my seat. I don't want to be covering my face. And I feel like, 2 years ago, you had a pretty good return game. Keontae Scott had a big year. I think he led the SEC in punt returns, and that was exciting. I want to take that to the next level. I want it to be exciting on kickoff returns. I want punt returns to be able to be a game-changing play instead of, hey, let's just figure out how we can put somebody out there to call a fair catch and not drop the ball. I feel like that's an element that Auburn's been missing for quite some time. I want an electric punt return, kickoff return game for my birthday. You got your new special teams coach.
Yeah.
Hopefully that solves all the problems with special teams. Let's go.
Yeah, you got to think it's going to have an impact. They revamped special teams, no question about it. Got a new punter, got a new kicker. Hugh Freeze added the caveat that hopefully Alex McPherson's ready to go, and they still believe in him and Towns, but they also added Connor Gibbs via the portal at kicker. And then you got to think the talent is there in the return game. I want Malcolm Simmons returning as many punts as possible. Let's don't overthink this here. Let's don't overthink this.
Exactly. They put him back there last year, but to me, it was almost more of a, hey, let's go back there, but don't go crazy. Don't go crazy yet. Let's field the ball. Let's really just focus on fielding the ball. And then if it's wide open, take a shot. Next year, maybe he's got a little bit more comfortability. I'm with you. Malcolm Simmons could be that game breaker guy at punt return.
Yeah, he checks all the boxes as far as what you want in a punt returner. Elite speed, kind of has that it factor as far as the feel around them. Yeah, sure. In the kick return game, I want Jeremiah Cobb back there.
Still same guy. Yeah, I'm with you. You just got to figure out a way to get just a little bit more explosion there. Feels like we didn't really have a ton of big time returns, whether it was on penalties or just blocking or whatever, but I want electricity when the ball goes in the air for sure.
All right. What else did you ask for? This is my
favorite one. This one probably could have been. This one could have been number one, and I want for once to feel like anything longer than 3rd and 6 isn't impossible. And it feels like it has felt like for so long that if it's 3rd and beyond 6. It is just an act. It is just punt it. Just punt it. Just go ahead and pooch punt it. Go ahead and get ahead of the game. If Auburn got behind the chains, if Auburn gets behind the chains, it has been an absolute disaster. I want that to go away. I want to feel good about a quarterback that can make a big throw. I want to feel like, hey, there's a really good chance this guy's going to make a big throw. I can't wait to feel that again. And I hope that for my birthday this year, that happens. That would be spectacular.
Yeah, or you've got the pass catchers that can step up and make a play if they're covered, or create the separation, or win on the long ball, whatever. Maybe throw it behind the line of scrimmage and let them make a guy miss, and they get the 7-yard gain on the 3rd and 6. I think they've got the tools to be able to do all of that.
When is the last time you felt really comfortable on 3rd and long? Can you think
Auburn?
of the last? Yeah. Can you think of the last time? Maybe 2017.
I mean, it's got to be 17, right?
Yeah. Maybe 2017, and even then, it was kind of sketchy at times. You still in those, we kind of had to be in front of the chains, and we were in front of the chains a lot. But I just want to be, man. I want that dog who he drops back, and more than likely, he's going to make the right decision and make a big throw. I can't wait to hopefully see that one day. Yeah. Hopefully, it's this year.
All right. What else? What's number 4?
I want to be able to run the ball when we have to run it and everybody in the stadium knows we have to run it. I want to be able to not run, not only between the 20s, but when we get in the red zone. I think that was our lowest yards per carry anywhere on the field. I think it was just a little over 2 yards per carry. Now, some of those are because they're goal line carries. But it doesn't matter. They know we have to run it. We used to be able to do this.
I don't feel that was the issue. I don't feel that was an issue a year ago. I just don't think we chose to run it.
Well, it was an issue when we had to run it. We couldn't really do it. But regardless, I want to be able to line up and know, hey, when it's 4th and 1, we can get that 1 yard. We can get that 1 yard. We can do what we got to do to move the guys in front of us and pound it and be able to move it. I haven't felt that in a while. I want to feel that again. Feel the confidence when it's short and we can do it.
Yeah. There's a lot of things you want to feel this year, and I'm here for it.
I want to feel things.
I want you to reunite with your feelings around Auburn football. The positive side of things.
The positive side. I can't wait.
All right. What was the last one?
More fades, baby. Always.
More fades.
More fades. More 50-50 stuff. I want when you get inside the 20, we need to take a shot to the end zone every single time.
That's literally why you have a guy like Cam Coleman on the that's what makes Cam Coleman so exciting.
Yes.
Is because it's like, I don't care if he's covered. I think he's going to beat you.
Yeah, and now you can run Singleton up there and get space. You can run Malcolm out there and get space. You got Perry, you got Horatio Fields, you got all these big body guys. Let's take one shot. Hey, once you get inside the 20, let's make them make a play. Throw it up there and make them make a play.
I'm all for it. Happy
birthday to me if that happens, and everybody else. If that happens, happy birthday to everyone else if that happens.
No, I think it's pretty clear that if Auburn scores on a fade, that's your touchdown.
That is my thing. That is mine.
I mean, we saw this 2 years ago when we went to Cal and Rivaldo had the go-ahead touchdown. It's like, that wasn't Rivaldo. It set off a Twitter frenzy.
It set off an absolute frenzy.
It was overwhelming.
It was
overwhelming, the response.
It warmed my heart is what it did. I was proud. I was very proud.
Talking about feelings again. I love this. I love
being able to just express my feelings.
Yeah.
I love it.
Which is super healthy. Super good for you. Super good for you.
It's like
Speaking of feelings, Auburn basketball has been giving us the best feelings this year. They keep winning, and they've got a big one tonight against Oklahoma, not Mississippi State. That's next, right here on Locked On Auburn. Today's show brought to you by our friends at Alumni Hall. Can you imagine buying Auburn gear anywhere other than with our friends at Alumni Hall?
I do not know why you would even do that.
It doesn't make any sense.
Makes no sense.
I mean, any brand that you want, they've got it there at Alumni Hall or online at alumnihall.com. They've also got 3 great physical locations in Auburn, in Opelika, in Huntsville. They're all fantastic. Do you have enough basketball gear? The answer to that is no. The answer to that is no. Go to Alumni Hall or alumnihall.com and take care of that. They've got the shirt season now with the Chad Baker Mazzara and the Dylan Cardwell and, of course, the GOAT, Johni Broome. So be sure to go support your favorite Auburn player as well. Alumni Hall, 3 great physical locations, or, of course, online, alumnihall.com. Thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. Kyle Rush, also known as Charlie 5 over at thebarnauburn.com. Auburn basketball keeps finding ways to be impressive. They keep finding ways to win. And to me, I talked to John Williams. He's the host of Locked On Sooners. We put up a bonus episode yesterday. Be sure to check that out. And he kept talking about the issues that Oklahoma's had since they went into conference play. And he kept talking about, like, man, the guys down low, the guys around the basket, we just keep getting beat. And as soon as I heard that, I'm like, oh, wow, this could get really bad for you.
It's not a good thing.
Yeah, because Johni Broome's still he's playing. And Dylan, I think, is still, a physical guy that if you're not ready to play, he can beat you too. So if that's the concern from the Oklahoma side of things, watch out. Watch out. Johni Broome's pretty good.
I've heard of this Johni Broome guy. He's pretty good, and also he plays inside. So that's kind of like a double whammy there. He's not only good, but he's good inside. So if that's your weakness, I love having the balance that you can score inside and you can shoot threes. That's just so deadly. It's so deadly. The analytics love it. They want you to either score in the paint or shoot a three.
You know who else loves it? You know who else loves it? Me.
This guy too.
And everybody watching this. We all love it too.
I don't know a ton about Oklahoma, but that spread and then obviously those comments make me feel pretty good about the game tomorrow night. And you got another chance to blow somebody out, hopefully in front of your home crowd. It's gonna be a lot of fun, a lot of electricity.
Electricity is your new word.
I'm rocking it. I'm locked in on it. You're
tonight. Like Ben Franklin 2.0, which is your
greatest
favorite president.
Greatest president of ever.
That's right. Who do you think steps up tonight? If you had to pick one Auburn Tiger outside of Johni Broome, who do you want to see more? Who needs it?
Who needs it? Chaney needs a good game. I feel like Chaney. We need a good game from Chaney. Chaney needs a good confidence boost. He struggled a little bit at times. His little post game that was so solid at the beginning of the year, the little jump hook or the inside moves.
Okay, like, you said little twice just then. You said his little post game and the little hook. What?
Well, I guess.
First off, can you apologize? I know it's your birthday still, and we're celebrating, but I need you to apologize to Chaney Johnson publicly, just real quick.
I'm trying to say that soft shot, that
you said it again.
Shot.
You said it again.
I don't know how to say it. I don't know how
you could look at Chaney Johnson and be like, yeah, little. Like, what's going on?
What do you say? His big jump hook?
Sure.
That delicate little jump hook he's got.
Just say his hook shot, or just say like his post move. You don't have to say his little post moves.
I'm saying it because it was so soft and so delicate, and he was so good like early in the season. Yeah, okay. and for whatever reason, that sort of left him a little bit, and I want it back. I want him to score on 5 jump hooks. I didn't even say little that time. How about I want 5 good post moves.
You tripped over it though a little bit.
I did.
Like you still wanted to.
I stuttered a little bit, but I reeled it in. But yeah, I want Chaney to have a game.
You're so versatile.
Chaney needs a game. Bad. We need Chaney to be a little bit more of a force offensively inside, I think.
Yeah, he went 1 for 9 on that road game against Georgia. Tennessee, he was solid, 5 of 8 for 10 points. At LSU, 2 of 7 for 7 points. And then, at Ole Miss, he only played 14 minutes, 1 of 3 for 2.
He got in foul trouble, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. So to me, I think it's a great answer. And he does seem to play better at home. Just kind of looking at all this, he does seem to play better at home.
Build that confidence, baby. You're going to need him. Hey, let me tell you who else is physical.
Here's what's like not helping him is saying everything that he does is little. That's not helping his confidence.
You're distorting me a little bit. You're distorting what I'm saying.
I'm literally quoting you. I literally
are, but there's context missing. I'm not saying little as in a diminishing way. I'm saying it in a description of how beautiful and delicate it was and how much touch he had. I loved it. I love that little
he popped off against Georgia State. You called me after the game and you're like, man, little Chaney Johnson scored 26 points.
Now I've never said little Chaney. I've never said that. Now that is taking this way too far. A little jump shot, that little jump hook. I don't know. I'm saying that beautiful, that big bodied man being able to do something so soft and so delicate like that and do it well.
The mega jump hook.
Mega jumper. That to me feels like he's throwing it way up in the sky. Like we're just boop, just dropping it in. Just like a little boop, just dropping it in. I love it. I want
to see Tahad continue to like evolve as, an SEC future NBA player.
I want him to score 40. I think he could score 40 if we'd let him. I want us one game. Just say, Todd, screw it. I don't care if they score 80 points. Go score 40 points because I think he could do it.
Yeah, the Tahad Pettiford game. That'd be electric. I used your word.
Electric.
It'd be electric.
There's nothing. How shocked were you when he caught that alley-oop? Was that something you were ever expecting?
I wasn't shocked. I wasn't expecting it, but I'm like, that's about right. Like, he's done everything else. Why not?
I came up out of my seat.
What would you call it when Chaney's on the receiving end of an alley-oop? Would you say that little alley-oop move?
No, I'd say a thunder dunk. I'd say a thunder jam. Is what I would say.
A Chaney Johnson. I love it.
Chaney Johnson thunder jam.
Yeah, I hope that's what you would say.
Yeah,
I hope that's what you would say as we restore his confidence. I hope you would call it a thunder dunk, not a little alley-oop.
A little boom
people
boom.
Check out everything that you've got going on.
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me on Twitter, _Charlie_5, and you can catch me anywhere you get a podcast at the Top Button Podcast.
Yeah. Be sure to check out. So that's on the Barn, the Barn podcast feed, and it's got your show. It's got Village Vice with me and Brad on it now, as well as the basketball show that you and Zep Jasper do, and we've got a new baseball show.
The baseball show.
It's the baseball show. Lindsey Crosby, Brad Law, Sonny D, and then on an episode dropping today, they've got Cooper McMurray, which is probably going to be Auburn's leading hitter, maybe outside of Ike Irish.
Let me say one thing about that really quick. Okay.
Sure.
Look, I think I am guilty, like a lot of folks, that we probably don't give baseball enough love. This is the perfect show to help you get locked in, get into listening and following baseball, because you're learning players. It's just like we break down football, but you're breaking it down from a fan perspective. It's fantastic. The first episode, I can't wait to listen to the next episode. Can't wait.
Yeah, so one will be up later today with Cooper McMurray. So be sure to give him some love for sure. It's an outstanding show. If you care about Auburn baseball, you will not find a better show than the one that's been put together there. So please like the video. Please subscribe. We'll see you next time. This has been Locked On Auburn.